Okay, I want to revisit this first quarter moon that we had last week, and I did a quick video on it to describe the themes of what we would expect this week, because I knew it was going to be super jolting, and it has been. It's been grueling this week for everybody. So one thing, I've never done this spread before. I've never seen anyone who's done it. I've just kind of invented it off the top of my head. And what I originally did was I was looking at themes, but now looking at it a couple days into the week, I'm seeing this is more kind of like a head-to-head between Donald Trump, and he's the Rider-Waite cards, against the United States of America, which is the Great Unknown cards on the outside. So it's kind of like Trump versus USA, because this chart is drawn for the first quarter moon over Washington, D.C. And so when I drew the cards for the reading, we have here on the ascendant, which is ruled by Jupiter, because it's Sagittarius. Its ruler is Jupiter, which happens to be in the first house, which will blow up things Sagittarius related. Long distance travel, law, expansion, good fortune. Trump's natal moon is in Jupiter, and here we've had, Jupiter in Sagittarius, and we've had Jupiter going back and forth over it. So he's been even more full of grandiose, more full of himself, and being more, daring and just over the top. So when we look at the ascendant, so the card for Trump was the Devil. This represents the President of the United States this week. Does it feel like it? And he's going head-to-head with the United States of America as the star. What do you think the Devil's going to do to the star? Probably try to extinguish it. And that's exactly how this week has felt. So this first quarter moon had the moon in Leo in the 9th house up here. The moon in Leo is in square. See, it's square to the moon by 90 degrees. There's that little square. So by default, it creates tension, irritation, fighting. Well, and with Trump, it's absolutely attack, because he's just gone so over the top. The sun represents the president in an astrological chart. So the sun is here in the 6th house. So this tells you the source of tension for the entire week. The moon, mood of the people, going against the president. And what is he doing? He is gaslighting. Gaslighting, confusion, lies, deceit. We're doing this, we're doing that. It's kind of more like a shock and awe, to tell you the truth. And what is he going to go do gaslighting against the USA about? Justice. He's gone after Ray. He's had investigation now opened against why the Mueller investigation was opened. And because he's trying to hide, he's going after these tangible things that we see of justice, the people that we see commonly. Maybe it's like the stars, like Ray, because we see him, we know who he is. But hidden beneath that, we're looking at this because he really doesn't want you to look at what's going on with justice. So what's happening with justice behind the scenes with our courts and our judges? Well, the sun is ruled by Venus, and the midheaven, the top of the chart, is ruled by Mercury. Those things are going to play a role. Venus rules money, Mercury, messaging. Oh, and smacked in the middle is Uranus, which is sudden, upset, shock, chaos, all that stuff. So here we go. We're getting messages. Third house in this chart ruled by Aquarius, which is actually ruled by Uranus, for shock and awe. We have news. Now, news for me with this chart, I like to think of overseas because I see sand dunes. Well, look at Pompeo. He is overseas. He's visiting with Russia. He was supposed to visit with this person, that person. You know, Bolton sending messages about Iran, blah, blah, blah. And this news is coming regarding the Mother of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the United States of America on a world stage. And here we have, in the ascendant for Trump, the world stage. Okay? So we're using messaging and gaslighting for messages and also to cover up money. This gaslighting thing feeds the 7th house, which is ruled by Venus. Here's what we're looking at. The bribes and stuff, the money laundering, because Trump is trying to even cloud that up as much as he can, because if he doesn't, the United States is going to discover Ace of Pentacles, new money, where all that money is coming from. And we got to keep this up, and we got to keep people fighting with each other in the 8th house, which is bearing, this is in the 8th house, and it's bearing down on this Mars, which is designed to keep people fighting. Well, why? It's kind of like this money is getting sandwiched by these two forces, because it's like, don't look up, don't look at this guy, because behind him for USA, you will see Daughter of Pentacles. This is Ivanka. Now, let's look over here to the 2nd house. The sun is in Taurus. Taurus is the natural ruler of the 2nd house. Well, what is Trump doing? He's trying to balance money. He is trying to figure out what to do. I think he cannot have his hands on his money. I think it's out of reach. So going up against the USA, what happens with Trump and his money in USA? Death. There's a lot of death themes around money this week. Aside from Trump, we've got the tariffs, which are just nuts. And then we also have the Dow that's just going up and down bonkers like crazy. But, you know, that's if Putin were president, that's kind of what he'd wanted us to have happen, right? And here he shows up in the 10th house, the highest house. Trump showed up in the 9th. It's like these two, it's like they're both co-ruling the United States, bearing down on DC, where we have the moon, howling at the moon, creating disinformation, creating shock and awe to cover up. Who's this? Mother of Swords, Queen of Swords, our justices, our judges, our investigations, mostly related to Trump taxes and the unredacted parts of the Mueller report that Judge Amy Berman Jackson's going to get. Now, what's behind Putin? 5 of Pentacles, just draining the life out of the United States and her money and her assets. It's not a fun story to tell, but I thought it was important to share this with you. And you know what? We're gonna do this every lunation, because this will keep us grounded in reality, to understand what's going on with the big picture, so we stop reacting and that we realize this, what he's doing day in and day out, is part of a larger pattern, and now we can try to decipher the plan proactively. So as we approach this full moon, I hope you guys are drinking lots of water. I hope you're taking your fiber. I hope that you're being good to your heart. I hope that you're being friendly with you. I hope that you are taking care of yourself like you are the greatest star in your universe, in your home, because we all need to shine brightly, regardless of what the devil is trying to do to us, because that's what this world needs. That's what our country needs. And for those of us that are hurting right now, there's 33%, 40% of Trump supporters who are not here yet. And someday they'll discover, and they're going to need us to help them out. Okay, thanks for listening. Have a good week.